CTV3 News has been closely following the saga between Caribbean International Brewery Company and the Financial Intelligence Unit FIU. The company was subjected to a two-day multi-agency raid on their beer company's compound, led by police and the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit in early October last year. After the dust settled, the authorities confiscated $3.1 million of the company's money on the suspicion that it may be the proceeds of criminal offenses. But not only that, officers also charged 9 employees with immigration offenses. Those employees are out on bail, including the company's owner, Kevin Zinn, and his fiancée, Liping Shu. Zinn is a naturalized citizen who has been living in the country for more than 20 years. Today, Dickie Bradley and Marcel Cardona, the duo of lawyers representing all 11 persons accused of immigration offenses, were present at the Orange Walk Magistrates Court for a final tune-up of what is the case management in order for a trial date to be arranged.
The situation is that 9 of those persons are charged with, certainly 8 of those persons are charged with working when they did not have a permit from the immigration department. The other persons, 2 of the others are charged because of their supervisory management role as being in charge of the company and the employees.
Those other 2 persons are Caribbean International Brewery's Kevin Zinn and his fiancée. Bradley says after months it is yet to be understood the reason behind Liping Shu's charge since she had been invited as a guest to visit Belize.
One person who has been visiting, we still can't appreciate why that person has been charged. That is a miscarriage of the procedure of charging persons. It's nothing against her.
Would that be Miss Leaping?
Yes, that is Miss Leaping, who is experiencing serious medical problems.
Notably, 10 persons of the 11 who were allowed to be out on bail were present today in court. One person who was not present at today's case management is the girlfriend of Kevin Zinn, the only female charged in the raid. A few days after being led out on bail, she applied to the court for permission to have her passport released, claiming she urgently needed to travel abroad. Magistrate Deborah Rogers granted the permission for she to travel, and she was due back in country on November 28, 2022. Shu, however, is nowhere close to any of our borders.
The workers were initially charged earlier, I think on the 7th of October, and the others were charged a few days afterwards.
Since the raid in October, the Chinese nationals have been trapped in the country. The attorney says they are entitled to vacation and this case is an impediment, a case he says initiated on a hearsay. Added to that, the language barrier is evidently a crossroads also.
It's a real rough schedule, and the judges and the magistrates are probably, we might need more courts in the country. So the magistrate was kind enough to say that we were hoping, because these persons are entitled to vacation leave and they come from China and they want to go home, spend their holiday and come back and have the experience of working in this country. As you may know, because of the wrong news that has been put out, this whole matter started because somebody dropped on a social thing that there were persons working there under the law of human trafficking, that they were modern-day slaves being forced to work. And so, but now that we have all the documents and now that we have had an opportunity to sit with those people and get the better, clearer picture and the real facts, there is no human trafficking. I think the immigration and the police have abandoned that because these people have bank accounts. They come to Arijak whenever they ask for a time off to take out a little money and to spend a happy night with the Arijak people. You don't do that when you're under chains in slavery. Once you come out, you're gone for your freedom over the river. When charges were first being read in October, the immigration department had utilized the services of a translator. But when we met with the persons who were charged and who was trying to help us to understand what was happening, they all made the same complaints that they did not, that there were words that were being used in the translation that they couldn't understand. And now we have it cleared up that the translator speaks a slightly different language from Taiwan and the area of China they speak. So my colleague was helpful in giving the names of persons who can translate mainland Chinese Creole.
3 main witnesses will take the stand when trial date arrives. These are Dina Mai, immigration assistant, Annabelle Trapp, immigration clerk, and Jian Young, inspector of police. The prosecutor intends to use payroll sheets obtained from the beer factory during the trial. The defense reserved its right to call witnesses as the trial proceeds if deemed necessary. Trial date is set for March 7th, 8th, and 9th. As we told you, during the 2-day multi-agency raid of the mine beer factory in Carmelita village, police found $3.1 million in cash in 2 vaults and as a result detained 9 persons who faced immigration offenses and also detained the owner Kevin Zin and his fiancée Liping Shu. Authorities confiscated the monies to investigate if the funds are legitimate proceeds of the business. The company has remained of the stance that the raid was maliciously calculated and executed. In fact, they retained the services of senior counsel Dean Barrow to get back the cash, but that has not quite turned out positive for the company. At today's case, management attorney Dickie Bradley made slight comments on that continued legal battle.
It is a very serious matter because, to my surprise, the government is still holding the money from the brewery. That is, that is an interesting matter because you go there to look for human trafficking. In the course, you find a lot of money, but when apparently people are drinking mine beer, a lot of mine beer is being drink. That is what the records are showing, no?
The $3.1 million remains seized by the FIU for another 6 months after a successful extended application for the detention of the monies was granted by Magistrate Deborah Rogers last Thursday.